And can women be upset when men identifying as females beat them in competitions?
Men identifying as female. Okay, so you mean trans women. You just mean trans women. You say men identifying as females, but you just mean trans women. That's the word you're looking for. Okay. Now that I've helped you with your inability to utilize the English language properly, let's go ahead and talk about, can women be upset when people beat them in competitions? Yes, anybody can be upset when somebody beats you in a competition. All right, we got a TikTok, YouTube reel type thing to look at today as the topic we're getting into. Now, we're not going to think about Salem causing me psychic damage. It's not a thing we're talking about right now. Okay. But before we get into this, let's go ahead and talk about the fan art section. The first piece of fan art we have is a piece from Bendy Vend. They said they remembered a couple of streams back. There was an anonymous watcher that gifted $100 worth of bits multiple times to make me say the dreaded war words. So they did a chibi doodle related to that. OWOs are free. Pay me $100 to make me say that disgusting phrase. Those disgusting weeb creatures. Anyway, Real Human TV, VT, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an OWO. Ivana says, say it, coward. Ivana, you don't have the spoons to make me say it. You don't. That said, this is a wonderful piece of fan art. The next piece is actually multiple pieces because it is from Aura Echoes. And it is a piece that they have put a lot of work in progresses on. Salem, you motherfucker! Fine. You win this time, Salem. For 50,001 channel points, you have made me. Oh, whoa. Fuck off. Now that I thoroughly hate myself, let's move on to the next piece of fan art. Damn it. Aura Echoes, thank you very much for this. They decided to make Girl Boss Suris. Multiple versions of it. The first one, I guess I will say this one for free. Especially because Rand the Fool dropped it anyway. So I will just mix it in. Thank you for redeeming your points for an you monster. Aura Echoes. God damn it. So they did this one, and then this one, and then this one. Multiple different versions of the outfit, depending on which one you prefer. But every one of them has a collar. Every one of them has a collar. Not one of them does not have a collar. So, yeah. Anyways, you'll take 10 of each. I'll get in contact with Aura Echoes. They own the rights to it. But that's it. As always, thank you all for your fan art submission. Greatly appreciated. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future episode, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord channel. With that said, let's go ahead and get into 3 honest questions for the LGBT community. And because it is a reel, it's going to be really hard for me to actually show without fucking up. So let's whoop. Oh, it didn't autoplay. Wow, I'm so surprised. I thought it was going to autoplay. I'm glad it didn't, but let's go ahead and play this. We'll scroll down and scroll up to reset it.
These are Why is it so important to you what someone does with their life?
Let me ask you a few questions. Can boys refuse to dress in front of girls who actually identify as boys?
So a boy can refuse to dress in front of anybody. They could just refuse not to dress in front of them. Like, that's just a thing they can do. I mean, I think you mean undress, right? Like, you could just refuse to undress in front of people. Like, you could just not do that if you don't want to. But whenever somebody says, well, they actually identify as a boy, okay. And I don't see that as much of a problem. But can a boy refuse to undress? Again, I think that's how you meant to say that, in front of girls who identify as boys. Yeah, you can refuse to undress in front of any fucking buddy. What the fuck kind of question is this? Damn Ginny, thank you very much for the follow. I think questions like this come from the perspective of somebody that thinks that everybody is trying to force you to comport with their idea. Also, does they took a clip from the Young Turk for their trashy transphobia? Yep. Yep. Used to do PE in school and I hated getting changed in front of anybody. It was mortifying for me. Yep. See, when I was in high school, I did not get changed in front of people. I brought my clothes out of the locker and I took them over instead to like a stall and I would change in the stall. I didn't want to get changed in front of other people. I think that being forced to get changed in front of other people in general is just kind of eh. So, I mean, yeah, you could refuse that. Nobody fucking cares, dude. You have to bring trans people into the conversation. You could just focus on it's weird to force people to change in front of other people in general.
Or are you a transphobe? Can a Muslim woman, refuse to massage a man who's identifying as a woman? Yeah, I'm a woman, mate. No, you're not. You look at your beard. It's coming all the way to your chest now, but I identify as a woman. You got to massage me now.
You can refuse to massage anyone. If you don't want to massage somebody, you don't have to massage somebody. Being a woman does not suddenly give you like carte blanche to get massage. What the fuck are you actually talking about? What kind of massage are you talking about? This feels like the giant, the most biggestest of straw men. Who is saying that women have special privileges to getting massaged and ergo people will transition for the purpose of just getting massages? The only example of something like this that I can think of that you can find would be like Jessica Yaniv. And in that situation, they didn't want to give her a Brazilian because they were not used to and did not have the equipment to deal with somebody who had Jessica Yaniv's genitalia. And I mean, aside from the fact that Jessica is definitely fucking predatory and definitely disgusting, you can, like in that situation and like in any situation, you can just not give them that thing. Yeah, they obviously don't know what consent is. Like, you can choose for any reason not to give somebody a massage. You could just not give them that. Yeah, this sounds like a shot at Yaniv. Yep, and while Yaniv is a piece of human garbage, to try to paint the entire LGBT plus community with a brush that is colored oddly enough in the stylings of them, no. Yeah, only consensual massages on both sides. I don't know why this is basically one of those things where like it's dishonest framing. These questions have so far been, when did you stop beating your wife questions. I think he's trying to paint the Kurosakura says he's trying to paint the transports of the LGBT as Yaniv. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's continue.
What, she's going to be a transphobe now for not doing so? And can women be upset when men identifying as females beat them in competitions?
Men identifying as female. Okay, so you mean trans women. You just mean trans women. You say men identifying as females, but you just mean trans women. That's the word you're looking for. Okay, now that I've helped you with your inability to utilize the English language properly, let's go ahead and talk about, can women be upset when people beat them in competitions? Yes, anybody can be upset when somebody beats you in a competition. Anybody. I lose in a Magic the Gathering tournament, I can be upset. Yes, you can be upset when people beat you in competitions. The part of the conversation that doesn't matter is the trans part. You are literally grabbing the trans portion of the conversation and shoehorning it in for the purpose of making people feel like they should not be trans inclusive. It's like the bingo card of transphobia. Yep. See, here's the thing. When it comes to trans people in sports, I just don't give enough of a shit about sports. I just don't give enough shit about sports. But if I did, the Olympics does not have a problem with trans women competing in sports. And they have not won a significant portion of gold medals over cis women in those competitions, which would lead me to believe that once you have HRT, once you've done the prerequisite stuff for the sporting authorities to actually like allow you to compete, then you're fine. there's not a significant enough advantage to consider barring you from a team. And yes, there's then not a significant enough advantage to be terribly upset at the transness of the women who happen to beat you in a competition. But if we were to look at this in a framing that is not absurdly stupid like it is, smile to Jannah, if that's your channel name. If we were to look at this in a framing that's not absurdly stupid, then what we get instead is, yes, people can be upset that other people beat them in competitions. The trans part of this was shoehorned in for the purpose of feeding your dumbass narrative.
Or are they transphobic too?
Why is it so important to you what...
Okay, and then you just go back to the Young Turks. That's all it was. That's all. 3, quote, honest questions for the LGBTQ plus community. So now I gotta ask everybody in chat, everybody who is in the comment section watching this on YouTube, what do you think? How would you answer these questions? My personal strategy with stuff like this is to point out the dishonesty in the framing of the questions. The fact that these are very much, when did your husband stop beating their wife type questions? Or when did you stop beating your wife type questions? And there are, of course, ways to answer those that avoid the sticky parts, but it doesn't change the fact that the question is worded in such a way to where the answer should already be implied in it. These are not honest questions. This is dishonest framing. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. I would like to know. With that said, if you want to support the channel and what I do, you have many ways to do so. Check the description. You'll have access to my coffee, access to my Patreon. Everything is down there. Hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for being here, commenting, engaging, viewing, everything. Insert end of video tagline here.